it's funny how people are now like, oh yeah, it's really picked up the past couple of episodes. It's like those are the ones that don't have any Boba Fett in it. Like,
I can't, dude, it'll be out eventually, but our reaction, we saw him in a scene and we were like, finally he's back. Okay, fine. The scene eventually ended. And I was like, wait, did he say nothing? Did he not say anything?
Everyone is more badass than him. And,
Yes.
But I'm gonna say it. They always have been. He's always been a boring character. I don't know why everybody likes him.
Boo.
boo to you,
No, stop
Rashida.
it. You grow up when you were a child, you thought like a child. Now that you're an adult, you leave behind childish things. Boba Fett was always a bitch. He died in a giant sandy vagina. He is uninteresting. He's a terrible character. Why does everybody like him? Oh God,
I think he's like Ryan Reynolds for me in that he's kind of cool in small doses, but like I don't really want an entire show based around him because he just becomes kind of boring and annoying. And
Well, you got your wish.
I think you can make it work, but they didn't try to make it work. They made it terrible. He cared more about Tusken rights than his own interests in life. Why? Why was any of this happening?
Because Tusken lives matter.
But why does he care?
Because they're indigenous people, Mauler. You bigot.
Those 5 minutes that he had in the Sarlacc pit just changed you as a man.
That's what all the fans are saying. It's like, it makes sense. He had a near-death experience. Of course you care about Tusken rights after that. It's like, what?
Swallowed so much sand. Part of him now.
Yeah. I think the funniest line of the show was when he's talking to Fennec and he's like, we can't be just taking contracts from idiots anymore. We're smarter than them. And I just thought, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm not watching this. I saw the first episode and then I dipped. And then I watched the last episode because I knew you guys wanted to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. So
other than that, I've had no interest in this.
I find it infinitely rich that he blames Jabba / the Empire for his jetpack fucking up and then slamming into a barge. Like, how the hell is that their fault, you idiot? That was your fault. He's such a bitter old man in this show. Like, God, I hate the fact that I was almost killed by my shitty, like, contractors. Like, Vader gave you insurance on your takes. He gave you all the information you needed. He's pretty strict with the job, and he treated you with respect. It's like, shut up.
Sulking.
The Rancor was sad. I think that's an important thing.
Oh, sad Rancor.
It's just so, like, it's funny as well how he's cooing all over it like it's a little puppy or something. Like, oh, he's a good boy. It's like, this isn't Boba Fett. What the fuck
He's gonna
is
ride
this
it in the
person?
final episode. He's gonna ride it out there. Someone will shoot one blaster in its face and it'll fall over, and he's like, oh, shit.
It really felt like with the writing room for this one, they were like, you know, what can our storyline be for Boba Fett? Okay, he's taken over Jabba and he's now trying to be a crime lord. We can't think of enough ideas to spin this out into a whole series. Okay, let's do a bunch of flashbacks where he lives with the Sand People and like it's just really slow and protracted, and he learns respect for them, and then like that just brings us up to date. Okay, we still don't have enough plot. Fuck it, let's just bring the Mandalorian in for an episode or two, and like throw in Luke Skywalker as well because people like that from the last one.
And Baby Yoda.
That's kind of where we're at.
Baby Yoda's doing flips.
Yeah, he wants to eat a frog and stuff. Like,
oh, such substantive content. It's not at all a distraction from the fact that there's no content in this season at all.
It's
so glad
yeah.
Well, when the show's called The Book of Boba Fett, and you're 6 episodes deep, and a third of your show hasn't had Boba Fett in it, yeah, I'd say you're pretty sparse on story.
I have no idea.
Haven't seen him read any books so far.
We originally thought that it was a matter of them deciding to bring these things in because Boba Fett alone was like shit, but I think it's the reverse at this point, that they had created the 2 episodes we've just seen, but they didn't have much else, and they were like, can we rush out a Boba Fett thing by now, and then we just add these on? Because the 4 episodes we had of Boba Fett, I don't think it would have taken them that long to do them compared to the Mando episodes we've seen.
Yeah, what if they were leftover episodes from season 2 of The Mandalorian? And they're like, well,
I think they're the season 3 premiere.
Oh.
But that got scrapped because of COVID and Pedro Pascal not having enough time to do X, Y, and Z, or contracts not being secured, probably. I know there was a lot of stuff about that after season 2 finished, because wasn't he complaining that his face wasn't seen enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's not really the kind of face I want to see a lot of, like.
And so then they were like, is anyone reliable here? And Tamura Morrison's like, you can use me for literally anything. I'll do it. And they were like, all right. Not a knock against the man, but he's more reliable probably than Pedro right now.
Yeah, because Pedro's signed to do The Last of Us. He's filmed the
Yep.
Last of Us series. So.
Well, he's
Yeah.
a star. Like, he's got access to a lot of different projects right now. Timur Morrison's Star Wars. Like, he's probably looking to play Boba for as long as he can now.
I mean, yeah, like the guy must feel good to have done this role like 15 years ago, and suddenly gets the phone call like, "Hey, could you
Yeah.
come back? We're going to do another series with you." Yeah, sure. I got nothing else to do. Yeah, what I really wanted with this show was to see more of him in his pants when he's getting like in that tank thing, because like I really want to see like a paunchy middle-aged man like walking around shirtless.
You just
God
say the
damn,
word
man.
and I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say this can
Yeah,
be
like, why
arranged.
was he
Critical
even
Drinker. What do you
naked in
think?
that
DM me after this says we'll sort something out.
I would have enjoyed a
mean-
naked fight with the Black Wookiee. That would have been fun.
Why gotta be black?
He was black.
I
Dark
was saying to a
Wookiee.
friend,
Matter.
like, imagine Timur watching the show with his family to be like, "Yay, Star Wars and stuff," and then like these 2 episodes have happened. His kids are like, "How come?" And he's like, "I don't know." Just like,
They didn't tell me about this bit.
I can believe it, and he's just like, "Yeah, there's other stuff with me, I think." And then he turns up for that scene, doesn't speak, and he's like, "There I am."
Daddy's character was sleeping this episode.
Eddie, why'd you say you were filming for 6 weeks? What were you doing?
Exactly.
Shut up! Don't tell mom.
There's like a lot of strange receipts on your credit card bill. It's like I don't.
Why did you have to get so many massages for this role?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that Mando season 2's finale? Everyone was like, "Woohoo, awesome, Luke!" And now we've seen the results of that, which is you guys like Cad Bane, right? You guys like Luke. You guys like Baby Yoda. You guys like the references to Order 66. You guys like Cobb Vanth. What else have we got in our bin?
The 501st. The 501st
Yeah,
at the Jedi
501st.
Temple.
Yeah.
I just like, man, this is kind of going further than the joke that we would often make. Like, oh, they'll shovel the cameos. It's like, no, this is it. We've got it. This is it. And the final episode is probably going to be even more. Han
Oh,
Solo.
Ahsoka. Don't forget Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
How could I
Ahsoka.
forget?
But yeah, it's just jangling keys in front of you, just a bunch of shiny stuff to keep you amused and keep you distracted. And Book of Boba Fett has just become exactly what I feared when Mandalorian was kind of successful. It's like it's just opened the floodgates to a bunch of stuff that's just throwing as many kind of things and as many references to the Star Wars EU as you can. It doesn't matter if it doesn't really tie together. Just have a really loose plot that allows you to work all this stuff in. Good enough.
I like the detail that Baby Yoda was at the temple while like all those kids were being killed. Like I don't know, that was kind of a nice flashback.
The way you said that.
Yeah.
He was like,
but they're clearly they're clearly holding back who saved Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also it's not great for consistency because Baby Yoda was taught how to heal. Nobody in that fucking temple should know how to do force heal with how none of the people used it when they needed to. So like, it's not helping. But there's a couple of other things some fans have let me know as well about the show, like fucking up continuity. But that's not exactly a shock. What I was actually going to mention as a comparison, right? Because this, I don't know how aware of Cad Bane you guys are.
Yeah,
I know enough about him to have seen him be like, oh, there he is, and I know his name. But there's plenty of people who may watch this show have no fucking clue who he is. I think a point of comparison. So there, yeah, Drinker has seen Arcane. I know I have. I'm not sure if I think Az hasn't yet. Rakita and Chrissy, have you guys? No. Okay.
No, I heard it's really good though.
Is Baby Yoda in it?
Oh, of course. Every episode.
Yeah, keep your eyes open. You might see him.
There's No Way Home would probably be a way to reference this as well, but like Arcane versus something like Book of Boba Fett in terms of how they're handling fan service, I think is a very. I would love to see that. That'd be great.
Me trying to look after Baby Yoda.
You awkwardly stumble into the room, dodging all of their blasters.
Just going like, take a fucking drink, wait.
Like, that's the wrong bottle, Dad.
It'll give you courage.
I think he would just like force choke me, like, oh, fuck you.
So the Arcane show is adapting a whole bunch of like very popular characters from a video game, right? So you got to be careful about how you handle the game fans versus the story you want to tell. There's a person that's in a room. He's talking to one of the main characters, and the guy says, "What's your name?" And then he says, "No." He says, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm assistant to the main scientist," and blah 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 blah. He doesn't give his name, which normally you might be able to point that out, but I think it flows really well in the scenes. You're just like, huh, he's given his station rather than his name. It's important right now because he's interrogating our main character. But end of episode 2, I think is near the end of episode 2, the guy says, "I never even caught your name." He just looks at him and says, "It's Victor." And he's like, oh, okay. Anyone who's watching the show, just be like, that's his name. Cool. Anyone who's played the game then goes, oh shit, that's Victor. It's this cool payoff because only game fans will know where he's going to end up, knowing that that's his name. They were aware of that when they made the show. It doesn't interrupt show watchers. If you watch Cad Bane's introduction, it's funny because Cobb is like, "Who are you?" And he keeps talking, and then he says, "You didn't tell me who you are." And then he looks up at him, and you see his face, and he stares at him, and the music cue is like, "Oh." Fucking Rags was like, "Who the hell is this?" It's supposed to mean something, I
You
guess.
didn't hear the
like,
music?
I was like, "What is it's Bane, this bounty hunter?" Ooh, that's all I got. It's such all the cameo shit, man. It's so awkward because I just can't unsee the idea that Lucasfilm are like, "Look, we don't have any stories, okay, but we have these."
We have callbacks to the Clone
Yeah,
Wars.
it's like,
Remember when you used to like our properties? Remember that? Here,
Yeah.
please remember it. Please.
Can you remember
Yeah.
some more, please?
Oh, it's like a
Pepperidge
divorced
Farm.
dad showing like happy family photos.
Yeah.
Remember this? We went to Disney World.